Yo YouTube, what's up? I'm Tim. This is not the Cash Guy and AC Sports Report. This will be the first episode of Phillies baseball talk with Tim and AC, except it's just Tim today. We're now partnered with PhilliesBaseballTalk.com. We're just going to be making a weekly Phillies show. All the rest on this channel will stay the same. Here's the bottom line. We're on to a new topic today. Phillies season's getting close, so we're going to start talking Phillies on this channel, and baseball for that matter. And with the Super Bowl being in a couple weeks, most of our focus is going to shift towards baseball once the NFL season ends. So let's get down to it. Today's topic, and if you please leave suggestions for topics that you want to hear me talk about, whether it's about the Phillies or any team in baseball really. Today's topic is going to be simple. Are the Phillies getting too old? Now, there's been a lot of concerns, especially with all the injuries last week, that maybe some of the, or last year, that maybe some of these Phillies players are just getting too old and that they're never going to be able to put up the production that they had, and that maybe that will hold the Phillies back from ultimately winning World Series. I think people need to take a step back, though. Let's look at the age of some of these players. We go to catcher Carlos Ruiz as, I believe, 30 or 31. He's still fine. He had a career year last year. No reason to worry there. First base, Ryan Howard's, 31? I mean, power hitters can go till they're 34, 35, most of them. And if he keeps himself in good shape, he can still hit 30 or so home runs even after that point. I'm not worried about Ryan Howard. Chase Utley's, 31 or 32? I don't think that's that big of a worry either. I mean, middle infielders, well, according to the experts, age even better than a first baseman. So I don't see any reason why Chase Utley would be done. He had one off season, and he needs to stop rushing back from injuries, but at the same time, he takes good care of his body. He's got a brand new hip from a few years ago. I don't see too many reasons why Chase Utley shouldn't be able to get the job done the next 3 or 4 years, really. Jimmy Rollins, J-Roll. Here's the deal with Jimmy Rollins. Jimmy Rollins is coming into a contract year. He's 32, 33, somewhere around there. And I am beginning to think that maybe he is getting up there. And the thing is, Howard and Utley started around 24, 25 in the majors. Rollins started around 21 or 22. And I do think it's possible that Jimmy's aged in a sense. I think the biggest thing to remember, though, is that he's still going to be able to put up better production than any first baseman you're going to get in this league. And that's crucial. You're not going to find, or not first baseman, shortstop. You're not going to find a better shortstop out on the open market than what you're going to get from Jimmy Rollins. So while his numbers aren't what they were in 07 and 08 when he was winning MVPs and he's carrying this Phillies team, I think you just got to look at it and say he's still better than what's out there. He's still a tremendous fielder. I think the key for Jimmy is taking better care of his body. If he's able to take better care of his body and stay healthy, I don't see any reason why Jimmy Rollins couldn't play 2, 3, 4, 5 more seasons here as a shortstop. His deal's up at the end of the year, and we'll just have to see where they go as far as that department. Third base, Placido Polanco, 36, I think, 35, 36, somewhere around there. He's got 2 years left on his deal. He's a good third baseman. He's not a power hitter, so that's not going to go away. He's patient at the plate. I don't think there's a ton of a concern with Polanco, and if there becomes one, I'm sure they could find someone else to play third base, but I wouldn't be too concerned. Let's go to right field. Right field's, I'm going to count as Dominic Brown / Ben Francisco. Reports are saying that Aaron Rowand could end up in the mix in this Phillies outfield again, so who knows about that. Dominic Brown, he's young. I don't think he's quite ready for the big time to be a full 7-day starter. Personally, I think the best option would be to send him down to the Iron Pigs again. I've seen him there a few times. He's a good young player, but he needs some fine-tuning. And I personally think that he might need to change his batting stance a little, bring the bat down a little. We don't know that, though. And we haven't seen Dominic Brown given a full season yet. I think the best thing for this guy would be to spend probably 2 weeks in the minor leagues. Or not 2 weeks, a month or two in the minor leagues. Ben Francisco's about 30 years old. He is what he is. You're not counting on this guy. So if he breaks down, so be it. But he came up late with the Indians, like 27 years old. He really hasn't been a starter the last couple years, so I wouldn't be too concerned with that. Shane Victorino, about 30 years old. Hitting-wise, you might be a little concerned. I think the thing where you got to be concerned, I think the fielding should be fine for a few more seasons, is the speed department. As you're 30 or 31, I think the speed starts to go from you a little, and I think that we might have seen a little of that happen to Shane last year, and I think as long as he is able to accept and adjust to the fact that he might not have as much speed as he once did, there won't be too many problems with him aging. Left field, Raul Ibanez, what can you say? The guy's 37 or 38 years old, but he's in the last year of his deal. If this guy can hit 15 to 20 home runs, have 60 to 80 RBIs, he's fine for them this year. He won't be back after this year no matter what. Halladay, Lee, both 32 or 3. I'm not worried at all about them. Pitchers go longer than hitters. Pitchers can go till they're 36 or 37. And even after that, Halladay takes tremendous care of his body. One thing I have heard about Cliff Lee is he doesn't have a great work ethic. You develop one. I mean, there's not a whole lot else to that for me. And I wouldn't be too concerned about that. Roy Oswalt is a guy who people say he's broken down. The thing is his back. He had some issues with his back. He's had some health problems. That would be the part I'm concerned about. Pitching-wise, what's been different about this guy, though? I mean, we're talking about a guy who had a 2.76 ERA. He was like 7-1 or 8-1 with the Phillies the second half of last season. I mean, I'm not at all worried about Roy Oswalt. He's in the last year of his deal. There's a mutual option for next season. We'll have to see where they go from there. I would tend to think he'll be back at least one more season. Joe Blanton, he's fat. Let him do what he wants. Who knows if he's even on this team. But if he is, I wouldn't be concerned. I think he can do much better than he pitched last year. And I'm not concerned about Joe Blanton. If he's our 5th starter, I'm thrilled because in the World Series, this guy was basically our number 2 starter when we won it all. So I'm not too concerned. Cole Hamels, still like 27 years old. No worries as far as him. I don't even know if he's hit his prime yet. I still think this is a guy that we could talk about winning 17 to 20 games at some point in his career. And that point may be over the next 3 or 4 seasons. So I'm not concerned. I mean, I think people are making age out to be too much of a big deal with this team. It is becoming some of a deal, and I see that in 3 years it'll be a deal. But the thing is, the Phillies have the number 1 rated single-A team in the league. A lot of those guys will come up and they'll be ready. There's free agency. And not all these guys are just going to break down completely just because they're getting older. So I think people are... Is anyone really going to complain if Howard's numbers go from 45 home runs to 37 a year? I don't really think so. So, as a Phillies fan, don't be too worried. I'm Tim. This is Phillies Baseball Talk. If you're watching this on Phillies Baseball Talk, check us out, youtube.com/Mr. Kelstar. Mr. and then KELLSTAR. Special thanks to the folks at PhilliesBaseballTalk.com for this new show. Probably a weekly thing here. I'm Tim. I'll see you guys later.